Why do you need State Route 22 insurance in Florida? In case you're required by law to get a State Route 22 or SR-44 in Florida, you're not the only one. This generally normal protection necessity is activated by a driving reference like a DWI conviction, a driving without protection reference, a mishap with considerable property harm, a reference for driving with a suspended permit, or gathering too many permit focuses. Finding shoddy inclusion with a SR-44 or State Route 22 in Florida may require some exertion, however it merits the inconvenience. We inspected how much cash a Florida State Route 22 or SR-44 testament expenses and how to get one. We should investigate. What amount does Florida State Route 22 or SR-44 protection expense? State Route 22 protection in Florida will in general be expensive. This is anything but an immediate aftereffect of the State Route 22 or SR-44. Recording expenses generally all out $15 to $35. However, a result of the protection rate builds that accompany the issue that made the State Route 22 important. Insurance agencies charge hazardous drivers expanded rates to represent the expanded possibility of paying out a case after a mishap. The cost increment you will get may rely upon the number and seriousness of references, beneath our normal protection rates with a State Route 22 or SR-44 authentication in Florida. The Express of Florida utilizes the State Route 22 type that will safeguard the people of its against trouble owners by checking the insurance of theirs. It takes the car insurance provider to file the State Route 22 type as an evidence of an issue driver's economic task, declaring that his/her automobile insurance responsibility is within outcome. The Express of Florida utilizes the State Route 22 type that will safeguard the people of its against trouble owners by checking the insurance of theirs. It takes the car insurance provider to file the State Route 22 type as an evidence of an issue driver's economic task, declaring that his/her automobile insurance responsibility is within outcome. The Express doesn't send out notifications, also it's the duty on the car owner and also the automobile insurance provider to post the type along with the renewals, into the status, when needed. What's a State Route 22 form? You will find three distinct kinds of State Route 22 forms, and State Route 22 type certifies the car owner has least responsibility insurance coverage and it is necessary for 3 years right after a place suspension, usual site traffic revocation or maybe reasoning regarding a crash within that the automobile proprietor didn't have insurance. A 6 months non-cancelable State Route 22 type certifies a car owner that has obtained a ticket for using an automobile with no evidence of insurance has become the appropriate insurance. The 6-month non-cancelable State Route 22 is necessary for 2 seasons. An SR-44 type is necessary for motorists who've been convicted of getting underneath the impact. The SR-44 is proof the car owner has bought elevated insurance coverage as needed by the court. SR-44 types are needed for 3 years through the initial suspension day. When's State Route 22 required? The State Route 22 monetary task insurance type is needed to the following cases, if perhaps you've some basic safety duty suspensions. For instance, if an uninsured printer driver was involved with a crash within the past but didn't spend the requisite compensation, well then he or maybe she must fill up the State Route 22. If perhaps you've any sort of unfulfilled judgment suspensions. For instance, in case a car owner involved with a crash before comes with an unsatisfactory judgment moved into against him, well then he or maybe she must fill up the State Route 22. If of revocations of license. Within the situation of necessary insurance supervisions. If you're convicted of getting underneath the impact DUI, then you definitely are going to have to file a State Route 44. This is a far more strict variant of the State Route 22. Submitting for your State Route 22, get in touch with a state-authorized insurance company to ask for a State Route 22 submitting. Spend the proper processing charge on the company. The charge sum might differ between companies. You are able to ask for an insurance quote via our Florida Automobile Insurance webpage, as well as businesses like eSurance will enable you to ask for a State Route 22 submitting immediately. As per the state laws and regulations of Florida, the least quantity of coverage must be $10,000 for one individual killed or may be hurt, $20,000 for 2 and up people killed or even hurt, as well as $10,000 for home injury. You're additionally forced to be coded for uninsured motorist physical damage as well as private damage safeguards. If you're needed to file SR-44, you are going to have to go along with the greater strict needs of $100,000 for one individual killed or may be hurt, $300,000 for 2 and up people killed or even hurt, as well as $50,000 for home injury. Upon getting the petition coming from the representative, the main business office then simply directs the State Route 22 straight to the Secretary of State, found approximately 30 times. In case approved, you are going to receive the State Route 22 coming from the company together with a sales letter coming from the Secretary of State. The State Route 22 needs to be taken care of for a least time of 36 weeks. When the motorist doesn't restore it a minimum of 15 times prior to the expiration day, the company informs the state. The state might in that case suspend the generating history on the motorist before insurance is reinstated. Driving is a basic necessity, and sometimes mishaps happen. This is why it is important to have the proper insurance coverage. The SR-22 Insurance Florida ensures that. This is for you. Having this is not a compulsion. But if you are a high-risk driver, then it will be good for you to have this. If you have a record of driving under the influence, then the state can ask you to get the permit. Have you ever been caught for reckless driving? Then this one is for you. When you are driving a car, which is not insured, and you met with an accident, then you can get the State Route 22. And State Route 22 is a financial responsibility filing. Generally it is required when you have been convicted of either driving without proof of financial responsibility, generally provided by insurance, or a violation which will make obtaining insurance difficult, for example operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Once the state of Florida believes that your ability or willingness to be financially responsible is in question, they require you to show proof that you are prior to allowing you to drive a vehicle. Generally, the requirements to provide proof of financial responsibility last for 3 years. Unfortunately, many insurance companies don't want to insure drivers who are required to file SR-22s. So the number of options you have decreases, and the costs go up.